Lifebrary, a podcast dedicated to your personal story. A story which is not merely a collection of events, but a powerful chronicle that encapsulates the essence of who you are. Understanding the importance of your personal story is to recognize the significance of your voice in the grand symphony of life. Let's get connected.
Hi, my name is Sammy, and I'm just your average, normal, weird person. I'm going to be 78 in January, and it's not true. Age does not slow you down. You slow you down. I'm a recent widow. My husband passed away 8 years ago, and I was very sick, and we kind of thought that I would be the first one to go, and it turned out to be the opposite and very sudden, and lost the house, and all those fun things that come with widows. And it's been lonely. It's been okay, but it's been lonely. I've always worked all my life, usually 2 or 3 jobs at once. I've sold Avon. I've sold Mary Kay. I taught at Fred Astaire. I was in competition with Fred Astaire. I go deer hunting. I know how to gut a deer. I did archery. I did so many things, and now I found that as I got older, it's not me limiting myself. It's everybody else limiting me. I had told the doctor when he talked to me, I said, you come in here and you act like I should be wrapped up in a shawl in a rocking chair. I said, I find that very condescending. And I said, and he came back and he said, I had no idea I was doing that. And I said, well, I tell you what, the next time you feel like talking like that to somebody, why don't you come do Zumba with me? That shut him up real fast. And I was doing Zumba too. Our limitations we have when we get older are only those that we set for ourselves. And it's hard sometimes. With everything I used to do, I had pets. I had golden retrievers and cats. I did rescues for both of them. Casey was my first golden retriever, and he would go to the nursing homes at me. And we also taught dog classes at Petco at that time. And Casey was the dog that I used for an example. Then I got Harley. Harley was something else. Harley was a rescue. He was an older one. He had been abused. And when he came into my life, I would go to these people's houses when they wanted to adopt one of the rescue dogs, and I would take Harley with me, and I would unleash him. And the first thing you learn about golden retrievers is there is going to be hair coming off that dog. And one lady said, and she asked for a dog that was a blonde in color, which are usually the golden retrievers from Canada. She wanted one that was not too fussy and would respect her antiques. And it turned out the lady who did that particular visit told her, I have the perfect dog for you. It's a stuffed animal, which I think is absolutely perfect. They were great dogs. They were, we did everything. And then I got into rescuing cats. And I said, Casey was I don't know what I would call him. He wasn't high-end or anything, but he was just like a normal dog. And I said, if I had to dress these animals up to be on the front of a magazine, Casey would have on a business suit and be carrying the attaché case. Harley, on the other hand, would be in a pickup truck with a beer and a cigarette. And my cat, beautiful little cat, she was just adorable, Rosie. She would be dressed up like Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm with this full gown and carrying a switchblade. and they all got along, so it was kind of cute. But I'm finding this past couple of years, I got sick with COVID. The doctors told me they were amazed that I'm still alive. I was in the hospital for quite some time. Then they sent me to a supposedly rehab place, and that place almost killed me. I'm a heart patient, and my first breakfast there was 4 slices of bacon, which, if you're a heart person, salt is not real high on our wanted list. And then I went into I had every pneumonia you could get, all the different names, and I've had every one of them. So from 2019 when I got COVID to probably last year, it was pretty dim. Managed to get through everything, and my church was just fantastic. They kept tabs on me, and I have to tell you, I'm not going to lie about it for anybody. I did an awful lot of praying, and God was faithful on everything. I probably, all the times the doctors told me that they are surprised that I'm not dead, it's all due to the Lord. So, a heads up from Him, and hallelujah and everything else. Right now I'm going through a phase where my son is 58. He lives in the upstairs house. It's his house, and I live downstairs. And he keeps on telling me, Ma, it's not the 60s. And I said, oh, I wish it was. Because people had respect then. I still tell everybody that, if this was back when I was living, you could order Amazon, and they could drop it off at any place in the whole entire city, and you'd still get your box. But that's not like that today, and there's no respect. The kids are taught stuff that's totally so different than what we grew up with. We grew up with respect. And I think a lot of times when you get older, people expect you to be a certain way. They want to put grandma in the corner. Oh, she can't do that, she can't do that. Well, while grandma's not doing that, you're probably killing her because she's lost. She doesn't know what to do. And if she's had a spouse and lost it, it's even worse yet, because you think about that stuff. You think you're going to handle it, but then out of the blue, I could, even when I'm talking to you now, break out in tears. I never know when it's going to hit, and there's nothing wrong with it hitting. So don't let people tell you that, oh, you can't be like that, you have to be this. You don't get over it in 3 months. And I know even with church, everybody's into the Facebook and everything else. I'm old-fashioned. I still send cards. You can hold a card in your hand. You don't have to spend an hour and a half on your Facebook page to see if anybody sent you a new, but you're going to be fine, you're going to be fine. That's what everybody says. So when their time comes, they're going to be very shocked that they don't have anything to really look back on from people. A lot of people don't do funerals anymore either. They'll do something at church, a small gathering. My husband had tried a new drug. They told him he would, without the drug, he would have lived 5 years. So they put him on a special drug that was a little past being experimental. It was $8,000 a month. It was covered somewhat by the insurance and somewhat by a grant, so we weren't too bad that way. And it killed him in 2 years. So things happen, and you have to be prepared for them. And there's people out there that'll help you. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed to ask for help, because you'd be surprised how many people are out there that are just waiting for somebody to ask them if they can help them, because that's their thing. They're into helping people. If they have nobody to help, then they kind of feel useless, and then it's boomeranging back and forth, Then we've got a lot of people out there. Just because you're over 60 doesn't mean you're ancient. I think some of us could still roller skate. So there. I'd probably fall and then hit my head, and then I'd need a CAT scan, and then I'd have another hospital bill, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But other than that, you still have a life. You don't have to depend on other people for your life, but it's great to socialize. Even if you get out just a couple of times a week, you don't have to be a movie star. You don't have to wear, get all dressed up and frilly and everything. There might be something even here that you like to do, and you don't even know you like to do it yet. And you're never going to find out if you don't try. And then, like some of us, volunteer and get stuck. And I'm really good at opening doors now with a button. But other than that, it's just hang in there. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. All we know is tomorrow is going to come. Where we're going to be is a whole different story. But don't put yourself in the sad pod. Sitting in the corner, and like they have these cartoons all the time with a little old grandma, and it's just as bad for the guys, if not worse. There are a lot of books for women that are widows. There are very few books to deal with a widower. And guys, I think, have a much harder time than women do. I mean, first of all, they can't cook. And, washing machine, what button do I use? All of them. You can always help somebody else just by talking to them. It doesn't have to be romantic or anything else. I mean, at our ages, for some of us, it's like, back in the day when we got married, we knew what we were getting. Most of us either knew the person from church, or they knew somebody from the family, or they lived in the same neighborhood. Nowadays, you don't know what you're going to get. So it's better off maybe not to get it at all. Play it safe. Other than that, just, you're still alive. Your arms and legs still move. You can still talk. I'm going through a thing now where I got a virus, and I didn't know this. A virus can lodge into your ear, and I'm hard of hearing in this ear now. And they've done all these tests, and so if they had their way, they'd still be testing me. But you learn to live with it, and I went and got some. I don't recommend this now for anybody, but I went and tried these things that are at Walmart that they advertise all over the thing, and for me, they're working, because I can still hear, but it's very faint. And I'm very loud, and I didn't realize I was that loud until the ear went. But I can still sing at church, and I sing pretty good. But other than that, please don't lock yourself into something that you don't have to be in. No, if somebody's putting you in that corner, well, turn your chair around and come back out. And I'm here on Tuesdays. I answered the phone, and I pushed a little button that lets you in or out, so be nice to me. I might not push your button. And I don't know how I got suckered into this, but you gotta keep living. When your time comes, you'll know. Don't make it 20 years before you're due to go. And you have so much to give other people. It may not seem much to you because you've done it all your life, but there might be somebody in that corner right now that's just, I wish I knew somebody that did this. I wish I knew somebody that do that. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, I can knit curtains, in my whole house, and I make bedspreads, and I do this and I do that. Sometimes it's just as much simple, like, how do I make out a grocery list? How do I check the different sizes and which one it is, so your money goes farther? Because let's face it, when we're on Social Security, and the way it's been going lately, you gotta watch. And if you notice, the meat is getting to be, what used to be 12 slices in a certain brand of lunch meat is now 8 slices. And what used to be where you could put 2 slices in a sandwich and that was sandwich, now you gotta put 4 in there. And they're also getting smaller in circumstances. So is your bread. We can't do anything about it right now. We're gonna have to live with it. So that's it for me. And I'm all talked out now, not really, but I'll say I am.
You want to sing one of your most favorite verses from something? You don't have to, but if you do.
I'm trying to think if I have a favorite verse. I guess all things are possible with God.
Do you want to sing it?
Sing it, I don't even know it.
Oh.
No, my favorite is Come Jesus, come quickly, It's like, it's sad. I'm a very emotional person, so I cry a lot, and not always sad tears, but it's hard to see what some people are going through, and to see their families not helping them. And it's like, it's just getting worse. So, but yeah, I still get up, and people go, well, what do you sleep till like 8 or 9? I say, 8 or 9, I'm up at 6. I take my pills at 7, come on now. And I got things to do. I'm always been a morning person. So coming here as a volunteer and getting the afternoon shift is really screwing me up, because I'm a morning person. But I'm thriving. I could say, oh, no, can't do it. Or you can go ahead and do it. You might find something that you enjoy. So don't give up. And just, times are rough for everybody, even the rich people. So just hang in there, and, there's people there that want to be with you and want to help you. And I don't know who they are, but you know who they are. So don't be afraid to ask either. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. In fact, you asking for help might help somebody else. So that's it. I'm done.